Shut up and sit down.
Hello, my friend. You are listening to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast, the number one place for innovative marketing, retention strategies, and business growth ideas made just for dance studio owners. Now, this isn't your average business podcast. We're here to shake things up, simplify the hustle, and focus on real, actionable insights. I'm your host, Jen Dalton, and after 30 years of running studios, coaching owners, and scaling businesses, I know one thing's for sure. There's no one size fits all in this industry. You've got the passion and I've got the tools to help you take it to the next level. So hit that subscribe button, grab a coffee, and let's scale your studio together. I was really confident that if I could get the right family into the studio or through the studio doors, that they would sign up. And I was really confident that my teachers would run those classes and make that new person feel so welcome and at ease, and that off the back of that lesson would sign up. And so I'm asking you, do you have that confidence? Do you have that confidence in your team? Now, I want to tell you I was that confident, but that's because we strategically marketed to our perfect potential families who I knew would be happy with what our studio offered. So we essentially will pre-qualify all enquiries before they would step through our studio doors. And then even those ones that did slip past our marketing and they did reach out for more information, I could tell from their questions and the language that they used whether they were right for us or whether we were right for them or we weren't. And if I felt like they weren't, I just would redirect them to another local studio that I knew would suit them better. So welcome to this episode of the Dance Studio Scaled podcast. A podcast is about building your studio empire and whatever that looks like for you. So whether you are just getting started or whether you are striving to hit that elusive $1 million mark, I'm doing a 4-part series throughout this month that is going to give you the confidence and the know-how to transform your studio and just give you the business that you've always wanted. Now, in the last episode, I spoke about the 4 things that you need to do when your brain is feeling full, when your lists are feeling endless and you're wondering how on earth you're meant to get things done, particularly at this time of year, because things are starting to ramp up. We've got a lot of people who have mid-year displays, mid-year concerts, comps are starting, exam prep is really ramping up. So, and honestly, it's really it's an uphill slog now till Christmas, let's be real. It's not going to slow down. So the idea and the purpose of these episodes is to offer you some really simplified steps to just keep things ticking over when everything else is feeling really busy. So whether you're starting out or whether you are ready to take your studio to the next level, the 4 things that I'm talking about. So I did an episode 2 weeks ago, and then there's this one, and then another 2. They become your base thoughts to every action, every decision, and the strategy that you do within your studio. Now, the first thing you need to do is attract the right people, which is what I spoke about 2 episodes ago. And then once you have done that, you then need to show them exactly why they need to come and try your classes. You want to entice them to come because if you don't already, you will be very soon be as confident as I was that once you get them through your studio doors that they are going to want to enroll. And it's going to start by making it an easy yes for these families. We want it to be a no-brainer for them to book in for a class. So what I suggest is not scaring them with too much information, but being welcoming and genuinely excited to meet them. So how do we make this invitation enticing? First thing you want to do is think about what your perfect family is, what they look like, what they want, what they love, what they want for their children. Now think about what those families would appreciate or benefit from. So this is going to be different depending on the area that your studio is running. For us, where we were, our families just really appreciated being able to come in and trial a class for free before they committed to enrolling for the year. Now, we can go into free trials and things like that. For me, if you've listened to any of my episodes, I did free trials forever. They absolutely worked for us. I didn't change. If I was starting now, would I do something different? Possibly. I think I would really consider doing a paid trial now, being that if they signed up, then I would take that money off their registration fee or take it off their fees, because things have changed, shifted a little bit. But anyway, that is a topic for another episode. But the other thing that I would think about, like, what would my families love and appreciate? They actually loved anything for free or a bonus. You know, for example, during our VIP enrollment period, everyone got a free t-shirt. They love the free t-shirt. Plus, it was also extra marketing for me as well when they'd run around with them. But maybe it could be you could offer for them to bring a friend or a sibling for free, or maybe an invitation to audition for an elite team. Again, it really just depends on what your perfect family looks like. You want to ensure that what makes you different to other studios in the area is highlighted. And you can do this through your marketing or even when you're chatting with them on the phone, and let them know what makes you different. So what offers do you have? What programs do you run that is different to everybody else? Like, get them excited about their decision. The ultimate goal with any new family is to earn their trust, because they are about to entrust you with their most precious asset, their child, and potentially commit to a substantial financial commitment, right? So we want to be putting their mind at ease by answering any concerns or worries that they might have, or leave them feeling like there's no obligation if they do come and try a class and if their child doesn't love it. So parents just love to know that there's no obligation attached to the offer. And you can do this by considering what the journey will look like for them once they make that initial inquiry. So think about how you can answer their questions. Maybe, email, of course, but we need to get more personal now. It needs to be text messages. It needs to be phone calls. It needs to be videos. These are the things that are making a difference and impacting, so we can earn this trust quicker with new potential families. And also, the last thing that I'll add is remind them the day before, remind them the morning of that first class so they don't miss it. Because if that parent is anything like me, they may have just genuinely forgotten with everything else that's going on in their life. So remembering the goal, the first one is to attract the right people, and the second one is to entice them to come. Because once they are in, you will hopefully impress the pants off them, and then they'll be asking how they can sign up right away. This now brings us to the third part of this series. And so in the next episode, I'm going to talk in depth about the most efficient ways to ensure that they enroll straight away. But until then, I want you to take this week to consider different ways to entice the right family to come and try a class at your studio. But also, you want to consider what that journey looks like then from the initial inquiry till the first time they walk through your studio doors. Now, the best way that I find to do this is to put yourself in their shoes, but think of it as a different activity, so not as in dance, because you know that process inside and out. So try something that you don't know. And I myself will always refer back to that experience with the swimming clubs. And there were quite a few that I went through with my daughter. And that's been a part of how I ended up tweaking my system and my process just off the back of that, because I had no idea about the competition swimming world, as most of our families who join us probably don't have much idea about the dance world. So think about the feelings, think about the questions, think about the concerns that they would have when they were experiencing this for the first time. So I can tell you with what I went through with swimming, I'd learn a lot and have, passed that on then through my business. All right, everyone, that is it for this episode. I hope you have found it helpful. Remember, if you haven't already, go back and listen to part 1, which was not last week, but the week before. And then the following episodes will piece it all together beautifully for you. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to being in your ears next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other studio owners who would love it too. And let's keep the conversation going. Follow me on Instagram at Jen Dalton for more tips, insights, and behind-the-scenes moments to help you simplify and scale your studio. Until next time, keep dreaming big and taking action. I'll see you back here soon.